All right. What's happening? What's going on? What it is, what it be like. Welcome to Deeper Understanding, where I'm your host, your sole proprietor. And today I'm damn sure your Dr. Jones, and I'm in the house. What's going on? What's up, Sloss? What's going on, everybody? Come on in. Come on in. What's going on, y'all? We have got a new camera today. Thank you. Praise him. Won't he do it? We got a new camera, so we're working out the kinks. Best thing about it, I ain't got to use my phone to run the show. What's up, D-Lo? I ain't got to use the phone and run the video on it. It wasn't expensive as I thought it would be. I'm still learning the ins and outs of the software, but I get to put my logo back up. You see, I'm sorry. You see the logo right there? Yeah, right there. Logo back up in there. So yeah, we doing good around here. Thank you, Lord. Yeah, come on in, y'all. Come on in. Today is gonna be very emotional. Lord, I forgot my damn towel. So in case I get the sprinkling, but that's all right. We just go old fashioned, just use our shirts. But come on in. How y'all doing? Come on. We're going to let them come on in. Did y'all see my video I made for them Jordan people that was been doing all this crying? That's why I got on my Lakers shirt today. Yes, I believe I can cry is the name of it. Go check that video out. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Yes. I'm doing pretty good today. The sun is out. It's nice. We're getting some spring weather. We're about to have an early spring. It ain't cold, but I know the cold is coming. Yes, I know it's coming. But yeah, I'm glad we finally got this camera situated. But we're going to keep on upgrading the show as the Lord sees fit to bless us. Yes. I'm trying to think, do I got any more announcements before we go in? Yeah. Most important, those on the Deeper Understanding page. Deeper Understanding people. I am not forsaking y'all. I know y'all watch the show too. And I need someone on that side who has who possibly has my phone number or can inbox me whenever someone has a comment over there so I can flip back and forth, because there's no way for me to know when someone is talking on that side. So please, can someone over there that watches pretty normal on that side, let me know if somebody makes a comment so I can flip back and forth and see what's going on. Yes, indeed. So without further ado, let's go on into this. The show's called The Transition. This show was, I was asked to do this show. Like I've said before many times, I don't really turn down requests. Only shows I refuse to do, I just have to say no to, are is I have to say no to, I don't do religious shows, and I don't do politics. That's the only two shows I had to say no to. I don't do religion, and I don't do politics, because they can be very divisive, and I'm just a little old-fashioned that you don't discuss your politics. You don't discuss your religion because those are personal things. Everything ain't for everybody. Can't get a witness in here. Uh, sometimes you have to just, you know, go through those waters on your own. So those are only two shows I don't touch, but everything else is fair game. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get into this. The transition. People have asked me, well, this one particular person, she asked to remain anonymous, so we're gonna do the anonymous. She wanted to she's currently in the transitional phase. She just lost her mother. My condolences again to her. And she's having a hard time with it. And she asked me, how did I endure it, rather, I guess you could say. And so I said, okay, I'll do the show. And, you can come on and watch it. And if you feel like you want to participate, call on in. And that goes for anybody else. If you want to participate, I always post my link. All I ask is that you stay on topic. Let's not go off the topic too far today, okay? Because this is very serious. It's a very emotional thing. And so I want to respect people's feelings. We need to stay on topic as much as possible. For those who may not know, I don't hide it. I lost my parents in 2005, lost my mother in 2005, lost my dad in 2008. Lord, it's been so long, I almost forgot. I lost my mother in the fall of 2005 to breast cancer. Just to give you a quick backstory, Mama had found her lump actually in 1997. Okay, so she was around 36, 37, whenever she found it. She was that age. She was, that's quite pretty young. And so with that being said, young ladies who's going to watch today or watch in the future, go get your mammograms done. Don't think, well, I ain't old enough to get cancer. No, that's a lie. Go get your mammograms done. Go get your titties checked on. Don't rely on Pookie and Zaquavion and Nook if you buck to squeeze on your titties to tell you, hey, baby, your titties feel funny. No, go to the doctor and get your mammograms done. She found her lump. However, she did not have it treated until it had started to actual deform, and I think she said it was bleeding or something like that. I forgot, but needless to say, she waited too long. Now, for her reasons, I can kind of understand. She was a single mother. She had myself. I was 16, 17, going into my senior year. My little sister was 7, and she's in 2nd grade. And so with all that uncertainty, and plus the fear that we have as Black people to go to the doctor and to get our stuff screened and checked, it probably, she waited longer than she should have. And that's another thing. We as Black folks, we got to go to the doctors. We got to get our tests ran. We got to get checked. We've been eating the wrong stuff all our lives. Let's just keep it real. Can I keep it real in here? We've been eating fried chicken, hog maws, neck bones, turnip greens, macaroni and cheese, and sweet potatoes all our life. And that stuff will cause you to have some problems when you start getting old. Can I get a witness in here? And so we have to go and get these things checked and make sure we are good to go. Okay, so we can be around. Amen. Fast forwarding, she had her mammogram. I'm sorry, not a mammogram. She had her mastectomy. And February, remember February, early 2002. And for those who don't know, mastectomy is when you have your breast removed. She had one of her breasts removed, the one that had the cancer in it. And then she went up and down. She got better, and then she would get worse, and she would get back up, she'd get worse. And then the seizures came. And I knew then that it had spread, whatever cancer she had left had spread to her brain. When you start having seizures and you're a cancer patient, I mean, that's normal thing, but that's normally when that's when it starts to impair the brain, and the brain is trying to reboot itself. So she started having seizures, more hospitalizations, and ultimately it led to her having to, they tried experimental treatment, which is the last resort, basically, is where they just shoot everything at you and see what sticks. And ultimately, I believe that's what led to her passing. Her last days, it was different. You know, she was in the hospital. She was very, very weak. She was so weak, she could not swallow her own saliva. She could not swallow her own mucus. It was clogging up and was thickening in her mouth to the point to where, in an act of desperation, I know that looking back now, she would have us put on gloves and literally go in her mouth and scoop out her own saliva and mucus because she was too weak to swallow it. You know, she physically didn't look like herself. And I can tell that it wouldn't be long. You know, you hope for the best. Don't get me wrong. You always hope for the best, but you know, and I think she knew because she held me when I said bye. I said, "Mama, I'll see you tomorrow." She hugged me, and she didn't. It was, you know, usually you hug and you go 1, 2, 3, and you let go. Well, this time we counted about 20. So I'm like, this ain't a normal hug. And clearly that was probably her saying, I love you, son. This is it. So the next day, oddly enough, she got better. They suctioned her out. She was breathing better. She was moving better. She was still kind of weak. She was very weak, matter of fact. Still kind of in and out of it. And then the following day is when she took the turn for the worse, as they like to call it. But I don't like that saying. I don't like taking a turn for the worse. I would just say you preparing, you making your preparations. Can I get a witness in here? And she finally she passed on that night, in the middle of the night. It was just me and her. I didn't want nobody else in there. And I felt like that was fitting for me. Because the way I came into the world was just me and her by ourselves in the hospital room. So I felt like, well, if she's moving on, I just wanted to be me and her again in the hospital room. Immediately, and I have to give a shout out to Bishop Walker. Yes, right, Sloss. I'm giving a shout out to your precious bishop. Shout out to Bishop Walker. Right about this time, I think the first lady had passed too in 2005. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody. But First Lady Walker had died that year. And I don't know what station it was on, but back then the Mount Zion was on the radio. And I would listen to it in lunchtime. And just like anybody else, I mean, and I wish somebody would have told me. I wish there was shows and opportunities like these back then that could have helped me out, because looking back on it now, I went about the process completely wrong. I you know, I really did should have took time off to really grieve and to get myself together and to finally start to learn how to accept bits and pieces of what this new transitional life is. Because see, whether we realize it or not, once our loved one transitions, we have to start the transition. Can I get a witness in here? Yeah, it was on 92Q. Once they transition, you have to start transitioning in your life. Amen. Their life is over. And now you're beginning a new life. Not an easy one. Don't get it twisted. But you got to start a new life. And I was listening to, I didn't take off time like I should have. My mother's funeral was on a Wednesday night. We buried her on Thursday morning. That Friday, I went to work. That's a true story. I went right back to work. And the people at work I was working at an insurance company then, and they was all looking at me crazy like, "Are you all right? What you doing in here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I needed to work." But I wish somebody would have told me, "Hey, son, take a couple more days off. You need to really take some time off and process what's finna happen with you." And so I would go and sit I had a Suburban in it. I had no Suburban. I still had my Thunderbird at the time. No, I didn't. Take it back. I was driving my mama's truck. She had an Explorer then. I was driving my mother's truck at the time because my car had broken down. I'm driving her truck. And I noticed I went to 92Q because I think 101 was on some bullshit back then. I went to 92Q and I heard Bishop Walker talking about the 5 stages of death. And he said that you can also interchange the 5 stages of death for the 5 stages of grief because it was the same exact process. And he spoke on how he grieved and how he was tormented and how he couldn't preach and how he couldn't do anything. He didn't understand how that the God he's been giving people didn't save his wife and all of that. He went through all the stages. I forgot all 5 of them, but I know one of them is denial. He was in denial. I was in denial. So says I had tunnel vision because I was still in denial. I was in denying, thinking I was all right. But I wasn't. And the fact of the matter is, once your father passes on, you're not going to be okay. And that's all right. That's all right. And yes, you're going to be in denial. Yes, you're going to tell people, I'm okay, or I'm going to be all right. No, you're not. You're going to say it to yourself. I know, and that's just human nature, but you're not. You're just in the denial phase. The next step was anger. Oh, was I angry? I was angry. I was angry with God. I was angry with myself because you started to look back and you said, damn, I should have spent more time. What if I should have did this? I should have did that. Damn, why didn't I go over there more often? And as many times as you go through that in your mind, you realize, eventually you realize it wouldn't have changed anything. Things have to happen the way they have to happen in life. Whether we agree with it or we don't, we have to understand that we are not in control of this process. And so being angry won't help anything, but you have to be angry because it's part of the process. And I do mean you got to go through all the phases until you complete. You go through denial. You go through the anger. I think the next one is bargaining. Why didn't God take me instead? All these horrible people around, all these evil people walking the earth. Why did he have to take my parents? Why couldn't I go instead? Oh yeah, come on now. I'm keeping it real in here. I'm keeping it so real in here. Why didn't he take me instead? This pain is too much, Lord. If you take my pain away, I promise I'll quit doing this. I promise I'll quit doing that. God says, I'm sorry, son. I love you, but you got to feel this. You got to feel this. Next step, and boy, was I in this one for a long time. Depression. Depression is such a tricky thing. Don't y'all think so? Depression is funny. Depression it creeps up on you. You don't know you're depressed until you smack dab in the middle of it. And really, other people can see it in you before you can. But you're just in denial. You just like, I'm okay. You go back to that denial phase. You know something's wrong, but you can't really put your finger on it. Except for in this, you know what's wrong, but you can't do nothing about it. You can't. You can't. I tried sex. I tried to fuck my way out of it. I'm just being real in here. She asked me to tell the truth. I'm telling the truth. I tried to fuck my way out of it. I got with people that I shouldn't have been with. Because I had a big hole in me and I couldn't fill it with nothing else. The children helped me for the most part. But then when they went to school, went to their mother's house, went to sleep. Oh my God. The nightmares, the dreams I would have, the things that would just keep me awake and have me in cold sweats because I couldn't process it. I was hurting. I was longing for my mother, longing for my father. Daddy was a little different. Dad, mama, it took longer for her to kind of break down. Daddy was gone within a matter of months. And like I said, it's crazy when you're dealing with cancer patients because they go up and down. I found out my dad had lung cancer. Again, cancer patients have seizures. That means it's spread to the brain. My dad was a pooler. He made pools for a living. Well, at least at that part of his life. He started to make, in-ground pools, above-ground pools. He was the guy that would jump in the bottom of the hole and make sure it's all level and the foundation was good. And his teammates, matter of fact, one of them was his best friend, Mr. Big Hand, found him in the bottom of the hole, shaking. Goes to the hospital. They run their tests. He come home. I go to his house. I look through his mail, find his letter. It says, Mr. Mitchell, we're sorry to inform you, you have stage 4 going into stage 5 lung cancer. That was in late 07. And he was gone May of 2008. He didn't have the up and down, the process that mama had. So it was quicker. It was a shorter time. But then even with him passing, made me go back to how I felt about my mama. And I say that to say this. That's why you have to go through all the steps. See, can't nobody tell you how to grieve. Can't nobody tell you when you should be over it. And don't you let nobody tell you that either. Don't let nobody tell you, well, you should be over it by now. You shouldn't still be sad, or you must feel guilty. Don't let nobody tell you no shit like that. Can't nobody tell you how long you should be happy. Then can't nobody tell you how long you should be sad. And again, I tried to rush that process. Now, it wasn't the same room number slots. It was the same floor, though. It was on the same floor. Yeah, my mom and daddy died in the same hospital on the same floor. Damn near the same room. Which is, coincidentally is the same hospital I go to for my kidney treatments. Well, God got a sense of humor, boy. But yeah, you can't let nobody tell you when it's time to turn the page. You can't let nobody tell you when the pain is over with. You can't even tell yourself, okay, mama been dead a year now. I should be over it now. I should be all right by now. I think I'm okay. No. Baby, you keep on praying. Whoever your God is, you keep on praying. And you wait on him to tell you, okay. You see, one thing I can tell you, you be in that depression stage for a long time and you didn't even know you was in it. You don't know you in it until you look back and say, damn, I was depressed. I can look back at it now and say, damn, I was depressed for I know at least 5-6 years. Oh yeah. It took me years to get over it. When I used to talk to my grandmama, I used to talk to my granny about her mother all the time. And she said, you know, baby, that's one of them things that you never get over. You just learn to make your peace with it. And that was the truest thing she ever said to me. You're never okay with it. It's always going to be that piece of you is gone and you'll never, ever, never, ever, never get it back. I don't care what you do. I don't care how many people you fuck. I don't care how many dicks you suck. I don't care how much coochie you eat. I don't care how much money you get from the insurance. I don't care how many cars you buy, how much jewelry, how many houses, whatever. That part of you goes in that casket with your mama and your daddy. Mm-hmm. It goes right there in there with them. And so then you had to start to prepare yourself. And I know that I know this kind of conversation is hard to talk about because it stirs up so many emotions, because it makes you think about when you was in that place. I'm thinking about it right now when I was in that place. And I've found a comfort zone where I can be comfortable talking about my mom and talking about my dad and all the old the people who raised me that's gone on. Do I still think about them? Absolutely. Do I miss them every day? But then you start, it's something crazy happens. I don't know how, I don't know where, when, but something crazy happens. And then it's like you get to talking about them and you want to talk about them and you don't cry no more. You don't feel sad. You don't feel that heaviness anymore. Matter of fact, the things that you used to think about that would make you brawl out and cry, it'll make you laugh. When I was preparing my mind for this show, I was thinking about all those little intimate moments I had with my mom and my dad and my granny and all these people. And it was like the times that we were by ourselves. It was always the times when we were by ourselves, not around a lot of people. Didn't nobody else know. It wasn't for anybody to see. We didn't have Facebook and Instagram and all that shit back then. I was thinking about when we were living with my grandmama in Cincinnati. And we lived in the basement at that time. We had our own little room in the basement. And we would sit down there and and we would watch Hunter and Hunter. I don't know why we liked that show. But we would sit there and watch Hunter and Hunter, and I remember her putting my ducktail. I had a ducktail back then. It was like 85. I had a ducktail back then, and she would put that ducktail in my head and sing to me. And those things they linger with me because I remember it wasn't nobody else around, wasn't nobody else to see it. It was way before my sisters, way before my pops, way before everybody else. It was just me and her, and it was just sweet, and it was innocent, and it was something that still sticks with me to this day. Now, years ago, I would have broke down crying all over the place. But now those are sweet memories, and eventually I say this to my sister who's going through it, eventually you'll get there. But you can't rush the process, baby. You can't look at the clock and look at the calendar and say, why do I still feel this way? Why do I still hurt? Why am I still crying? Why am I still going to the cemetery? Why am I still celebrating her birthday? Why? You're going to do those things. It takes time to gradually move on to where you feel like, okay, and it turns into actually gratitude. That's the stage I'm at right now. Yes, I had my mother for 25 years, but to think that I've been unmothered all these years afterward, and I think I'm doing all right. I've raised 2 children without her help, without hearing her voice. About to be a grandfather. That's the beauty of life. So now I'm grateful that those 25 years she gave me was all I needed to get me where I needed to go. Sometimes it's the quality of your child rearing versus the quantity. Some people had their mamas 40 and 50 years, still living with their mama. I don't mean to step on nobody's toes. You still living with your mama and you still living with your daddy, and you still stuck. I know woman. Matter of fact, I'm gonna keep it all the way. I got a family member. He still live with his mama and daddy, and going on 60 years old. But she gave me good old school values, good things to keep me grounded, good things to turn to when these days like these will come. I don't know if she saw it coming or not. But I do know she poured enough into me to where I could sustain, where I can go on, where I could thrive. So yes, it's okay to weep over your mother. It's okay to weep for your father. It's okay to grieve them. They'll do that. They're worthy of that. If they mean something to you, then by all means, grieve for them. Feel that. Go through all of that, all those emotions. Go through the anger. Go through the sadness. Go through the depression. But eventually there will come a time, and I say that to say this. When the time comes, and you'll know exactly when it is, when the time comes when you don't have to cry no more, when you don't feel bad anymore, don't try to force yourself to go back and be in that dark place. Don't try to force yourself to go back to being angry and being sad again. You've already been through that. Because there is a part where you do feel guilty where, damn, I shouldn't feel good. I feel like I'm forgetting about mama. And so you go back to that place. You ain't forgetting about mama. Mama's gone on and now you moving forward. Life is going to move you forward. And so when you get in that place where you starting to move forward and you don't go to the cemetery for a whole year, you don't go for 2 years, you don't go for 3, don't look back and say, damn, I feel like I'm neglecting mama. No, you're not. Mama's gone on. If you believe that she's looking down on you, believe that. If you believe her spirit is still with you, believe that. But don't take yourself back through that situation when you've already cleared the process, because see, the last one of the process is acceptance. That means you've accepted it. You understand this is part of life, and now you must move forward. I know some people who never went to the cemetery. And that's their prerogative. Whatever it takes to get you to that last leg of the grievance, you go ahead and do that. But once you clear it and you get the feeling better and your life is starting to take a whole nother change and you're going through the final stages of your transition, don't go back there. Your mama and your daddy, they wouldn't want you to be sad. Your mama and daddy wouldn't want you holding on. I know I don't want that for my kids. When I'm gone, kiss me goodbye and go on with your life. That's what I want for you. That's what I want for anybody. Yes, cry if you have to. But when you're done crying, kiss me and say goodbye. A lot of people get stuck on that last part. Like the life has moved you on, but then you want to run back to it because you feel like you're forgetting about them. You're forgetting, like you feel like you're separating yourself from them. It's almost like they never existed, but that's not true. They're always there with you in your heart, in your mind, in your soul. They're going to live forever in you. And that's the beauty of life. That's why it's important to do right by people. That's why it's important to complete the mission God has for you. So that when you do go on, You still live on. Somebody gonna remember you. So if you ain't hear nothing else I said today, most definitely don't follow the steps I did. Don't be in denial. Don't try to rush it. I tried to rush it for long. I tried to rush it for years, but I wasn't free of it. I'm free now, but I wasn't free then. And I know when you're going through it, you want anything in the world to get over it. You want to be over it, be done with it. But it's just like getting your heart broken. It's not something that you rush. You got to feel it for a little while. But all that pain is what's going to make you stronger in the end. That strength that you're going to need to go on and proceed with life and to be successful, that's what your mama and daddy want. I hear people say that all the time. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to wrap up. I hear people say this all the time. I went back to school and got my degree because mama wanted me to. I went back and did this because big mama wanted me. I'm doing this for daddy. I'm doing this for such and such. Don't do that for them. If you're going to accomplish something in life, if you're going to do something with your life, do it for you. Yes, I'm sure there's some things. We as parents, we all see our children doing great things in life, and we want to see them achieve and do great things. But I don't want my kids trying to chase a dream that I had for them. Chase the dream that you have for yourself. If you want to go and be a doctor for you. Don't do it for Big Mama. Because see, your heart really ain't gonna be in it. That was Big Mama's dream. That's not your dream. I dated a girl said that I went back to school and got my nursing for my grandmama. I did it for grandmama. And ain't used that damn certificate or that license since the day she got it. Why? Because it really wasn't her dream. So resist that urge to, oh, I'm gonna do this for them. No, do it for you. Because see, they're gonna be proud of you either way. Because they love you for you. They're proud of you, not for what you do, not for what you done, not for what you're gonna do. They love you for you. Anybody else got something they want to add? Or anything they want to say? And it won't be no show on Sunday. I'm sorry. I know this is like the third or fourth Sunday I done did this to y'all. But Super Bowl Sunday, and I am going out with my work people, my work family. We going to a little restaurant to watch the game together. They're gonna be drinking in search. I'm not. I'm just gonna eat me some wings and sip me a little tea and enjoy the game. I don't really care who win one way or the other. It's just tradition. But anybody want to share their story or share their testimony? We got time. Yes, time helps. Yes, time definitely helps. Time heals all wounds. And this show, and what I'm hoping too, is for people to understand this show just ain't for when you grieving and mourning those who dead. Sometimes we have to grieve. Oh my God, thank you, Jesus. Sometimes we have to grieve and mourn the people that's still living. Yes. When you go through them breakups and things of life, what's up, Corey? What's up, CC? When you go through hard things in life, you lose jobs, you lose your house, you lose cars, those things are traumatic. It takes time and a grieving process for everything. A little gal break your heart, you need to grieve. A little knucklehead boy break your heart, you need to grieve. You just don't pick up and open your legs back up to the next dude. You got to grieve that. You got to go through that whole process and let that relationship die to you. Oh, come on now. You preaching, Dr. Jones. You got to let that relationship die. Otherwise, you keep going back to it, or you'll find something even worse. Oh, I wish I had a witness up in here today. Oh, I wish I had a witness for that right there. Everything that lives and dies, you're going to have to grieve over it the proper way. I know some girls, bless their hearts. How do I, Uncle, I love him. How can't get over him? I gotta have him. I gotta have him around. I'm just not ready. I don't want to be by myself. Baby, go on and cry. Go ahead and grieve. Be angry. Put that bullshit in the ground. Mourn your losses, and then come out and find you a new man. I don't want to turn this into something that is not, but that's there. So I see that pattern taking place more and more every day. I finally got a little top status on Scoop Nashville, if you notice. And the last 3 days, that's all I've been seeing, is these people fighting and beating up and cutting on their exes because they can't let it go. Let these motherfuckers go. Let them go, grieve, cry, bear it, and be done with it. Girl, I talked to one of the girls on there. She said she wasn't answering the phone, so I went over her house and checked on her. What you mean? She ain't answering the phone. I mean, she don't want to talk to you. Yeah. I just went over there to check on her because she ain't answering the phone. Y'all broke up. Of course she ain't answering the phone. I was just trying to check on her. And she was in there with another woman. Oh, what you think she's going to do? Newsflash, she had that other woman before she let go of you. Let me stop. Let me stop that. But yes, transition is hard. And let me say this too before we get out of here. Those who you still got your mama, you still got your daddy. First of all, first thing I want you to do, I want you to forgive your mama and your daddy. I had this conversation with my son on Sunday. I was driving him back home. We had spent the whole evening together. And I told him it was important for me to forgive my mom and daddy. First, I had to forgive him for dying because that hurt my feelings, and I know they had no control over that. But sometimes your mind and your mental and your emotions they get shit twisted sometimes. So while you're in the process, you're gonna be angry. Mama, why you leave me? Daddy, why you leave me by myself? But they didn't want to do that. I know they don't want to come back. But they didn't mean to do that. So you have to forgive them. Forgive them if they're alive. Forgive them right now. Because see, as parents, and I say this all the time at work, as parents, kids think you're supposed to understand and accept them and forgive them a billion times and And we ain't supposed to feel nothing. We ain't supposed to feel no way about it. But the truth of the matter is parents are human too. And parents only know that there's no handbook. I know they got a lot of books out now about kids and shit. That shit bullshit. Because no child is the same. So they only know how to be the parent that they know to be. And a lot of times they didn't get the best parenting. So they're just giving you what they got to give you. And so you need to forgive them. And if possible, create and maintain a good relationship with them. I know that's not always possible. Don't get it twisted. I know that's not always possible. But if they're still here, it's okay to still love them. It's okay to still try to try. Only you know what your limitation is. But value those, value your mama, value your daddy. You don't know how hard it was to even bring you into the world. You don't even know how hard it is. So if you can't thank your mama and daddy for nothing else, you can tell them thank you. Daddy, you pumped and fucked my mama and you nutted on her. Thank you for that. Mama, you sat up here and held me in your belly for 9 months and then you squirted me out. I thank you for that. That's real talk. That's real talk. Because whether you are close to them or not, whether you are close to them or you're not, you can at least be thankful and grateful to them for that much. We don't get to pick our parents. We don't get to pick out the best. But they got you here. So that means they did something right. And so, like I said, if possible, love on them, appreciate them, because one day they will be gone. And like I was saying, whether you're close to them or not, you still gonna feel that loss. You still gonna feel some pain there. You're gonna feel something because there's a part of you that's gonna be gone. Their DNA is what's in your body. It's what's giving you life. You've been inside of both of their bodies at some point in your life. And so when they go on, a piece of you gonna go on. And so you are transitioning right along with them. I hope somebody got something out of this. I hope the sister who requested the show, I hope she received something out of the show today. I know it's not going to take away your grief. It's not going to take away your pain, but at least it give you something to go by. And sometimes that's really all we need. We just need to know, is it normal for me to feel like this? Yes. Is it normal for me to cry all night long? Yes. I cried so hard, it felt like my ribs had broke. And don't let nobody tell you you must be guilty. He feeling guilty. He must didn't do something right. No. You ain't got to be guilty to love on your mama. You ain't got to feel guilty to love your daddy and to miss them. Sometimes crying is all we have left. That's what babies do. That's our natural instinct. Baby don't cry because they want to cry. Baby cry because ain't nothing else they know to do. Anybody got something else they want to add or say or anything like that before we get up out of here? I do hope everybody has a safe and enjoy the Super Bowl festivity. Don't do too much. Don't do too much drinking. Don't do too much arguing. Don't gamble too much. You know, you got to be smart about it, because we do live amongst idiots these days. We live amongst fools. So yeah, keep yourself in check. And if you're gonna go out, don't go out by yourself. Go out with somebody who can keep you that keep you and hold you accountable and keep you safe. Amen to that. But I thank you all for watching. I thank you all for the comments and participation. When I log off of the show, please, I always open the show up to be shared. I make it public. Please go ahead and share this show, because we never know. One thing I do know, we all gonna go through it. I've already been through it, but we all gonna go through it eventually in life. And so we need as much information as we possibly can, and especially in the Black community, about getting your checks, getting your health check, get your mammograms. Young men, well, you know when something ain't right, go on to the doctor and check it, get it checked out. Don't wait and think, oh, I ain't old enough. Yeah, you is. You can be old enough. My mama had breast cancer when she was 36. I got sick and had a heart attack when I was 35. Yes, and go get your counseling done. Go get you some therapy. We all need therapy. As long as you live and breathing, you're going to go through something in life that you're not prepared to go through. And that's where the counseling comes in at. Everything, think about that. Everything that's bad that happens to you, the reason why it hurts you so bad is because you weren't prepared for it. Any boxer will tell you the punch that hurts the most is the one you didn't see coming. And so the bad things that happen in life, we never are prepared for. We're not taught how to grieve. You're not taught how to go through and suffer. You're not taught how to deal with pain. And let me say this too before I get off of here. And don't just think you can pray and Dr. Jesus is going to settle you. No. You go ahead and God love you so much, he made doctors and therapists for you to go talk to get yourself together. And don't just lay up in the bed and you feeling stuff that don't feel right, or you feeling sick and you say, oh, I'm just gonna lay hands on it and it's gonna be all right. No, go let the doctor, go let the physicians who God had put the medical training and the knowledge in them, let them lay them hands on you. That's what they're here for. We all have a purpose and we all have a role to play. Okay? So when you call on them, just say, Lord, tell me what doctor I need to go to. Don't just say, Lord, I know you're a doctor. I know you in the sick room. And I know you'll make it all right. Nuh-uh. Lord, who I need to go see? This don't feel good. Lord, who I need to go talk to? And take that money you're going to give your pastor in the tithes and offering and go and see the doctor. All right, y'all. We holler at y'all on next week. We love you. We thank you. Keep those show suggestions coming. Today was a good one. I'm glad. Thank God I lasted through it all. Because our boy, whew, that's when you know he's healed you. All right, y'all. We'll holler.